within both the Chinese government and then within the Chinese public, you can always see this type of sympathy linking Palestine's anti-colonial movement today to China's previous anti-colonial movements in the last century. One very interesting thing is that in the United States, for example, the US Department of State just outlaw people from comparing Israel to the fascists and saying that if you compare any policy of Israel to that of Nazi Germany, it's a so-called act of anti-Semitism, and that's the definition by the official government of the United States. But in this case of China, it's a very different case. Is that the Chinese officials themselves are actually doing those kind of comparison. One example I was raising in the article is that this Chinese consul general to Osaka, Japan, he shared on his official tweet a painting made by Chinese artists comparing the Israeli soldiers to fascist Japan's soldiers. And the picture was very vivid. It's comparing the fascist Japanese soldiers killing Chinese children during the massacre of Nanjing to the Israeli soldiers killing Palestinian kids in Gaza today. And such a comparison is shared by official diplomats of China. I mean, the Chinese in the official document in the UN or official diplomatic document released by the foreign ministry, they're more cautious, so they do not very out frontly say those type of things. But you can see that the sympathy lies within the Chinese government through those cases. For example, one of the most obvious cases is this statement by the Chinese diplomat in Osaka shared. And within the public is more obvious is that within the public you can find the Chinese young people basically they're making videos online, making musics online, writing articles online, comparing the Israeli genocide in Gaza today to not only the Nanjing massacre, but also the entire World War II, what China has suffered during the Japanese invasion and also during the Western invasion. And this narrative is welcomed in the Chinese society a lot. One of the most famous slogan I have seen online all the time is that Palestine's today is China's yesterday. And that comparison is very, very obvious in the Chinese internet if you check it. And it's more implicit within the state among the diplomats, but it can be sensed there. And one other interesting thing is that the Chinese netizens often call the Palestinian guerrilla fighters in Gaza as they use the word 老乡, which means fellow countrymen in Chinese language. And that was the term that we used during World War II to refer to the guerrilla fighters, because the guerrilla fighters were basically most of them are from peasants background, and during that time people just referred to them as fellow countrymen, and then they're using the same exact terminology to refer to the Palestinian fighters in Gaza today.